Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free header and footer for Divi's Pizzeria layout pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve, so without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I did was install this layout, which can be found in our layout pack. It's absolutely free, so you can also go and use this. Alright, so as you can see, our heading here is not styled, and also if I scroll all the way down to the bottom here, you can see that our footer is not designed. So in this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to add our header and footer. So let's head over to our blog post, and this is the page you need to go to. I'll link this in the video description below as well, so you can find it easier. All right, so once you get to this blog post, you want to scroll down and click on Get It for Free Today. Next, you want to add your email address and then click on Download. Next, you want to click on Download the files. And now you can see my files have been downloaded onto my computer. Next, I need to unzip this file. So I'm going to come over here, Show in Finder. And here are my files. I'm going to double click on it. And now it's unzipped. You can see here on the bottom. I also need to go into this unzipped folder. Okay, there we go. So this is the file that contains our header and footer template. So I'm just going to drag this over here to the side for a moment because I need to go in now to my site and install our template. Okay, so what we need to do now, I'm in my admin dashboard here, my WordPress admin dashboard, and I also have Divi installed. So I'm going to come over here now and click on Theme Builder. Next, I'm going to click on Portability, and then I'm going to click here where it says Import. Now that file that I unzipped, I'm just going to bring it back here to my screen, and there's two ways you can install it. You can just click here where it says No File Selected. And this now will go onto your folder structure and you can locate it that way. But we are just going to drag and drop it over here. Click on Import Divi Theme Builder. And now you can see our header and footer has been installed. Next, I'm just going to hit Save Changes. And now when I come to my site, and right now I'm at my footer, if I refresh this, notice what happens. Now we have a completely new footer. And when we take a look here at the top, we can see that we now have a new navigation system. And here we go. It's showing now over here on the left. So this is really, really awesome. Now, what I'm going to do next is to show you how to go in and customize it. So let's go ahead and do that. So to customize it, you want to come over here to your theme builder. Click here on this pencil icon. This is going to take you into our builder, and this is how we can go in and start customizing it. All right, so first things first, we need to go and see how we can customize these menus. So I'm going to go and show you how to do it on the first one. And right now, this is a text module, and as you can see, so first things first, you want to come over here and add your link URL. In this case, it needs to go to the About page. And to do that, you want to click here on this chain icon and paste your URL in here. Okay, another way you could do this is by coming over here where it says link, and you can add your link over here. So both ways actually work. Now that we have established how to add our link, how do we then customize this text? Well, that's what I need to show you next. So to customize it, you can click here on this paintbrush tool, and this is our font. So perhaps you may want to change this font and use your own font. So you can say, for example, use Poppins, and you can see just by doing that, this has updated. Next, you may want to play around with the colors here and use different colors. So this is where you can go in and change your colors. You can also adjust the size. So if you want to make it bigger, you can just adjust your size here like that. And pretty much that's all you need to do on our links. I'm going to close out of this. So when it comes to the rest of them, you have to go in the same way and make those changes. And make sure you link all your pages. Okay. Next, I'm going to come over here to my button. So to customize our button, I'm just going to come over here to my module settings. So here we have order now. You can change your button text over here. And then on the link, this is where you want to add your button link. It's very important that you add your button link, because if you don't, this button here will not work. Now let's talk about customizing the button itself. To do that, you want to come over here to design and then click on button. So this is where you can go in and make changes to your buttons. For example, I can change my background. So now you can see my button background has changed. There we go. So as I'm cycling through these, you can see that my color here is updating. So the purpose of this is to make sure that the rest of all your pages are consistent in color with your header and footer. All right, so this is how you do that. I'm just going to close out of here. Now we notice that in our design here, we have this background image here. So to locate it, I'm going to come over here now to expand settings, click on our layers, and I am going to break this down and see where my design is. So as I hover over here, we can see we have a heading up there, and this one here is where we need to go. So we're going to go into our section settings, go to our background. So right now we have transparency here. So this is not where it is. So let's go and drill deeper. And now I'm going to go into my rows, come over here to background, and this is where the image is. So this is the image that we have here in the background. So if you want to get rid of it, you can just delete it like that. And perhaps you may want to add a color so that the text here is easier to read on that background. So if you're not a fan of that image, you can just use a solid color, just like how I'm adding over here. Okay, so pretty much that's how we can go in and customize this. I'm going to close out of here because I pretty much want to just leave this as it is. Okay, so moving on, this is the text. And as I hover over here, you can see that this is another way to access your text settings. Okay, so now that we've gone in and did all those changes, now let's go on to our top section here, because there's a few things that we can customize. So here we have our text. So when I click here on this gear icon, it's going to take me to my text. So what I'm going to do now is to come over here to design, and I am now going to play around with my text. But right now you can see nothing is changing. So let's go in and click here on this brush tool. So this is our navigation. So I guess this one here cannot be changed. So I'm just going to close out of that. Okay. Now over here to the right, I'm going to click on that, and this is just our image, but this can work as our logo as well. So if I go in here, this is how you would add your logo. You can upload it from here, and once you select it, it then gets added onto that. All right, so I'm going to close out of here and close out of here as well. And now let's go ahead and start working on the footer and show you how you can customize it. All right, so for the footer here, I'm going to click on the pencil icon just like I did on the header. Right, so first things first, we have all these links here. So let me show you how to do one of them. So I'm going to click here on my first one, which is the menu, and this is going to take us into our text settings. So I'm going to highlight this text and click here on this chain icon. This is our link URL. So ideally, you want to make sure that you link menu here to your menu page. Okay, so I'm going to say okay, and the other way to do it is by coming over here and linking it over here. Okay, now let's say you want to change the colors. You just click here on this little icon, and this now takes us to our font. And first of all, let's change our font. So you can see here it's now Poppins, and if we want to change the colors, we can just change them by just going like that. Okay, so that is how you change your colors. You can also change the size by increasing it or decreasing it, but of course you don't want it too small, otherwise it won't look nice. All right, so that's how you customize and make changes to these links. Okay, so we also have this grungy background here. So let me show you how you can go in and customize it. So I'm going to click here on section settings, background, and if I come over here now to the image tab, you can see that this is where this image is. If I delete that, now it's gone. And if you want to add a solid color, you can just do that by adding it like that. So that is how you customize that. Let me close out of that. Next, let's take a look at this text. Now this text can all be customized similar way as to how I was showing over here. Now let's go to this last section. So let's first of all find out how we can change the background color. So I'm going to come over here to background, and to change your background color, this is where you would come and make your adjustments. Okay, let's close out of there. Now let's take a look at our social media icons. So I'm going to click here on module settings. Now let's say you want to add a brand new one. All you have to do is to duplicate the existing one here, and then click on the gear icon and select the one that you want to add. So let's say it's Skype. As you can see here, straight away I've gone in and added it. Now let's say you want to link all these social media icons to your pages. All you have to do is to click on this gear icon, click on link, and this is where you want to add your link. It's very important that you link to your profile pages, otherwise these icons will not link anywhere. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Now these office hours, these are text modules, so you can go in and pretty much override this and make your changes. Now let's talk about the newsletter opt-in. This is very, very important, because if you don't set this right, you are not going to be adding all these emails to your mailing list. So I'm going to click here on module settings. Okay, next we need to link this to our service provider. So I'm going to come over here to email account. Now, if I click on this drop down, by default it's set to MailChimp. If I click on this drop down, you can see here that we have a list of them. So we can choose the one that we want. So you can choose from ConvertKit, Active Campaign, Fluent CRM, and so on. So once you've selected it, you want to make sure you choose your list. Now, ideally, you want to create your list before you set this all up. Otherwise, your list will not show here. Next, over here on the fields, let's say you decide to add the first name. You can add it like that. So now you'll be collecting your first name, or your subscriber's first name and email address. Okay, this is where you activate it. And then finally, over here on the success action, this is where you can add your message that shows up after they hit subscribe. Another way to show that something has happened after hitting subscribe is to redirect them to a specific landing page. And again, this page needs to be designed beforehand, so that when you click here on redirect to URL, you can just paste it over here. Okay, it's important that you create that page first. All right, so that is how you can go in and customize our header and footer templates to match your branding. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.